Boaz, thanks for hosting us at your office. This room is incredible. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and give us a background on Link Ventures?
All right, I'll start with a fund. I think we're like at frame first of all what we are, which is we're the talent-focused AI fund, and I would say the Boston AI fund, which is our wedge right now. But we're obviously not Boston only by mandate, and we have incredible programs as we speak running in San Francisco now, and many portfolio companies in SF. New York, Austin, Tel Aviv. So yeah, I'll give you a bit about like background about the fund, which I think will kind of tie into what we're doing now. So founded by Dave London, he's my partner. I met him at the Media Lab while I was doing my MBA, and we clicked right away. And after a year or 2 years since we met, I joined the fund, and I'll tell you how. But he started one of the first neural net unicorn companies in the country, which is
in
called
Boston.
It's called Data Sage. Sold that for around $1 billion in 2000, just before the dot-com bubble burst, and since then, been investing in internet companies and investing, co-founding, and incubating. So first check into TripAdvisor, Car Gurus.
Incredible.
And then from there, just like incubated Course Advisor, sold that, JobCase sold that, EverQuote took public. And about 10 years ago, internet, AI was starting to make some progress again, and decided to raise the first fund, institutional fund, which was $110 million, basically to double down on what worked well, which is investing in tight-knit technical teams, primarily from Harvard and MIT, and that's because of this is our wedge, the cards we were dealt, but it happens to be also the most fruitful. On many metrics, it's probably more fruitful than any other ecosystem on the planet. In terms of unicorn production. So basically raised that fund, started investing, and it was only fund 3, around the time I joined, I won't take all credit, that we really started executing on that thesis big time. And it happened to be also when the biggest paradigm shift in technology occurred, which is obviously AI.
Of course.
So we're basically we're now at Fund 4, which we just closed. We'll announce it's an oversubscribed fund. We just recently closed we had the final close, and we've probably deployed a third of it already.
Incredible.
Pace is kind of incredible, and with fantastic companies. Fund 3, which we just deployed in the last 2 years, has 4 unicorns and counting that became unicorns in less than 2 years. So incredible fund, incredible, it's just it's madness right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys are doing inception, pre-seed, or seed checks.
So we're mostly inception. I'll talk more about our thesis, but we are in the business of mapping talent.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are themes that we care about and we're very on top of, but we care about talent. And sometimes I'm not ashamed to be informed by founders about a new paradigm or a new technology. It's like, okay, I'm with you. I believe you. This is this sounds crazy enough. So that's the fund. A bit about myself. Israeli, born in the UK, grew up in Jerusalem. And kind of had most of my life was around startups. Even growing up, I grew up in a neighborhood with the kind of founding fathers of VC were part of it. Many entrepreneurs, exited entrepreneurs. It was mostly the smaller kind of $300 million exit back in in 2000, which was big.
Insane.
And then high tech mergers and acquisitions lawyer. Worked at a startup called Via. They went public a few months ago. was in growth equity, and I also was a special forces officer in the IDF, which is like, I would say, the only thing that is not entrepreneurial, but it obviously helps me a lot, I think, with who I'm, like,
Totally.
the person I am and things that I do.
Incredible entrepreneurs coming out of those programs.
Yeah, so yeah, came here for my MBA at MIT Sloan. My wife did her MBA at Harvard, so kind of like naturally tapped into both ecosystems, and we happened to just like stay here, which is great, and we love Boston.
Yeah, you guys have built something incredible here.
Yeah.
So you've been a special forces officer, an M&A lawyer, operator, and a founder. When did you decide in your gut whether to back someone? Which of those four is actually doing the judging, and which one do you have to tell to be quiet?
I think everything I've done, I'm kind of like, I feel like a very rounded person in a way. Helps me in a way. I think the one thing about being a lawyer that is good is like the being super diligent, and the OCD in me like really kicks in. But you're very like in the risk averse advisor kind of personality, and that's one that I really had to shut down. And I think that in terms of what helps me a lot is like my determination and my hustling. It's like there's nothing that, like, if I want something, I'll do it, I'll get it. And that's something definitely a soft skill that I got from my time at the IDF.
Incredible.
Yeah, and obviously like operator, really, like I saw how companies are being built when I was a like inception founder. Also helped me a lot in like understanding what works, what, like a lot of my thesis of backing tight-knit founders comes from my partner Dave, but also from my own experience. I worked with an incredible co-founder from MIT, PhD in AI. Like our relationship was very, very instrumental, and it wasn't a tight-knit team. I knew this is not like the team I'm gonna go to battle with.
I mean, especially because you're backing founders that might be dropping out of Harvard and MIT, having operating experience is also really, really helpful, right? Guiding, coaching, like being like in their corner and helping in all these scenarios.
Yeah, I saw it happening. I saw like the, from seed to Series A, I saw like a hard pivot with VIA when we were like from being a kind of a Uber competitor to becoming a kind of platform for others to use. So, it's like these things, they stick with you and help a lot with guidance.
I remember when VIA came out. Love it.
East Coast too.
I mean, I was in Chicago at the time. It was like shared rides and all this stuff. I was like, this is incredible. You said you don't really buy the product, you buy the assumption underneath it. Tell me about the bet where that assumption sounded crazy to everyone else in the room and you wrote the check anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't say completely sound crazy, but I managed to lead around in Blitzy 2 years ago, 2 years and 1 month ago.
How big was that team?
There were two founders, right? It was like the two founders, they pitched at HBS. There was a lot of slop there, but like they're like Brian and Sid, oh my God. And it's obviously underwriting the founders, and they're like they're first like just how tight they are and how technical they are, and the inspiration. Like you're kind of like inspired by Brian and Sid when chatting with them. But I think they came with this perception of building an architecture of multi-agentic systems, either as a fully outsourced function or as kind of like a teammate or a function within a company, would still have a strong moat and will be, continue to be more advanced as AI is becoming more advanced, as the frontier models are becoming. So, many people thought that, okay, the frontier labs are just they're gonna dominate the space, and they won't leave any room for the Cognitions of the world and for the Blitzys of the world. And it's like you're definitely proven wrong.
I mean, and like on what are some things you pick up on when you meet, say, a team of co-founders? Like, how do you tell that they have that tight-knit bond and relationship? I'm just curious.
I see I've also made mistakes in that early in my career, and just like seeing what doesn't work, which is like how they treat each other. It's like, is one person, is it only one person who's like speaking? You're like, you know, you have these like, you can have these kind of coffee chat questions like, you know, what do you do to bond together? But like if you hear Brian Elliott talking about Sid and saying like, this is the brightest person I know in the entire planet. He's a multi IP inventor and whatever at NVIDIA. It's like, okay, this guy really likes him.
Yeah.
And you see how they interact with each other. That's a lot. But it's a lot of it is also doing some diligence and asking around.
Yeah.
But like the best indication you could get is like just watching them interact.
Yeah. Yeah. You backed Arro, a company whose whole premise is that you can predict how humans behave without asking a single human. It called a primary within 371 votes and then got the 2024 election wrong. As the investor, which of those two facts told you more about whether to keep betting on them?
So I'll just give you the story about Arro, because like a minute into the first call we had, I was like, oh my God, I need to invest.
Wow.
And that tells you like, and that happens to me like in most of our like biggest winners. It's like such a clear thing. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I think like with these things, it's a power law bet. Like they might completely sink like it might completely crash, but they're going to win. They're here to win like big time. And with Arro, I think like that to your question, I think like just seeing the resiliency of like, okay, we got it wrong. We were like very arrogant. Yeah. We got it wrong, but like we don't give it because we know like we're just iterating.
Shots.
We're iterating, right? So I think that was like a clear bet and continue to be a clear bet. Ned and Cam are incredible.
Yeah, they are. Almost every company you back automates something a person used to do. A sales rep, a scheduler, an analyst, a pollster. When you're in the room with these founders, how are you underwriting them?
It's a good question. I think like I've kind of crystallized this concept of like being a magnet. There are different ways of describing founders, but in the end of the day, you need to inspire customers, talent, and funders and funds. And like you just like some people, some founders, you just see that it's like you're inspired. That's like the number one litmus test.
They can get you
like,
excited about.
You're like, oh my God, like you're definitely smarter than me, or like you have many qualities that I don't have. And you're like, they come with you, like they already have a list of 10 people that want to join them. There was a company at Harvard I ended up not investing, and like the Nim Ravid, it was like people were just like working with them because they knew that he's gonna make it big.
Even before they were like he was hiring them.
They were nothing. They didn't raise anything, and everyone like, so you see like people just want to join the journey. They trust you.
Yeah.
So you see that. So I'm inspired as an investor. That's a great indication. Customers are like buying it before they're even selling something, and talent. So that's like the number one kind of like, yes, I'm with you.
I love it. You're systematically betting on founders who've basically raised a round before they've unpacked their dorm room. When you back a teenage founder, what's the thing that tends to blow up later? The thing you watch for because it's bitten you before?
So I think the one clear thing is, first of all, like I think Dropouts used to be like, oh my God, this person is like all in. So just make sure it's not a. It's not. It didn't become. I think it became kind of like the new cool thing, right? Like I'm going to Goldman Sachs.
Get accepted, drop out. Yeah.
So that's not an indication anymore. It shows some dedication, but I think like still I watch for real conviction, and I really want to see the relationship among the founders and how strong that is. That's like still the number one thing, and I have my scar tissue with that.
Yeah.
As well.
What are some things that you pick up on? Like if someone is, say, dropping out just to drop out, like how do you tell?
I think it's like it takes these like longer conversations, like going on walks and like really just like understanding the motivation. Some of it, and sometimes I don't do it that well, but it's like trying to open up and show vulnerability, and then that creates like vulnerability with the founder. Like they're open, they're more authentic, and then we're like, hey, like what is this all about?
Yeah, like why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? I'm still trying to perfect that.
Talking to them more as like a friend than an investor, so they're not putting on this.
But that's like in general my approach with founders. Like I'm not this kind of
digging.
It's like I don't like I'm not using my authority. It's like, hey, or like we want a partner, we don't want a partner. Yeah. But like if we're partnering, we need to be on the same. We need to be authentic.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
You used to be the lawyer who read the actual paperwork behind these deals. When a startup announces it's worth $1 billion, how often is that number basically a story everyone agreed to tell versus something real?
I think it's kind of real.
Yeah.
Sometimes the numbers are like a bit. Now you have all these like 2-stage rounds.
Yeah.
And I even the 2-stage rounds are real because, some investors are like
someone's willing to pay it.
So they're willing to pay more because like Sequoia did that lower value. It's like I want to underwrite this, and so I think it's it's kind of accurate. Sometimes it's like a bit higher than it's real, but yeah, overall.
Mm-hmm. Every firm now says the same thing. The best AI founders come out of MIT, Harvard, etc. Who's a founder you would not have funded 5 years ago that you'd back in a heartbeat today, and who's everyone still completely wrong about?
So I think some of it became consensus now, but I had my issues with like researchers because they're like, kind of a solution looking for a problem. They're like, they have their thesis, they want to commercialize it. And there's something also ingrained in their personality in many cases, which is like, I'm a researcher. I'm like, I'm kind of risk averse.
Correct.
But like Dario and Demis Hassabis, it's like and Arvind Srinivas, right? So you can't and Google, right?
Yeah.
They dropped out from their PhD. I think there's like we're still trying to analyze like what is like the differentiator in these cases. I think like many times it's immigrants that need to prove something, or they need the visa status. But
that's a good signal.
But I think like definitely a researcher with the right approach and with the willingness to pivot, if they're doing like a neo lab, not a application layer company, I think I'd definitely back them now, like consider backing them now, and 5 years ago, definitely not.
Yeah.
So that's like a big shift. We are kind of different in Boston. Most funds are doing deep tech investments, and that is exactly what we're trying to kind of not like
they're going for PhDs.
Exactly.
Yeah, they need
and
that.
We are into like the dorm room, tight knit,
third-year student
buddies that can recruit all their friends in a heartbeat. Yeah. Like we have Vocara as an example. They just like raised $7 million, and within a month they got all their friends from Palantir and from like Meta. They were all just their football teammates at MIT. So it's like easy.
That's such an incredible advantage.
And that people don't, I think even founders don't understand how important that is. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, I have a customer. They're willing to pay $2 million, but I don't have the talent.
Who are you going to hire?
Then you're like, oh, I need to hire people. Yeah. And then you're like posting you're looking for headhunters, and you're like, oh my God, I need to be an HR person. And yes, that's your job. You're a CEO of a company. And if you don't have that tight-knit circle of friends that trust you and want to go on this journey with you, you're proper.
Yeah. Is that something you're screening for? It's like, hey, who are the first 10 people you're going to hire?
So you asked me a question before, but it's like the number, it's probably the second question I ask every founder.
Yeah.
And it's funny because
I'll give you this money right now.
No, but it's funny because it's like in many cases I ask, who are you going to hire? Like after this raise, who are you going to hire? And they're like, we need a back-end engineer. We need a front end. It's like, no,
Not the right answer.
No. Who are you going to
I
hire?
want names.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a,
I love that.
yeah. But sometimes I get the name straight away. And like either they've done their homework on me or they're like, they really like, yes, like, you know, Gina wants to join once we raise. Like she's willing to, like she wants to join us and give up her $1 million salary from Google because she believes in us.
Who are your best friends you're going to hire right away?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you love to hear.
Yeah. You saw that, you know, you work the Talvi team. Like,
yeah.
They're like, you know, come.
I mean, but also like you have people on campus.
Yeah.
Like that are part of the Link team, which I think is an incredible, like, one, like you meet a company and they're trying to find people, you have people working those systems already.
Right.
Right. So if it's not a founder, I'm sure you have incredible access to talent for these people, you know, that are building companies that may need a little help.
But I do think it's like, like if it's not organic, it's still not as good.
Yeah.
1000%. And I'm looking for, you know, I'm willing to help, and we do help, and we tend to like introduce our companies to their biggest customers and really do like many amazing intros. But in the end of the day, I'm looking for founders who don't need anything.
Yep.
And are just going to win.
Love it. This or that. Brilliant assumption, mediocre product, or mediocre assumption, or brilliant product?
Brilliant assumption. You know, in most cases, the product changes so much. Like,
especially where you're investing.
Exactly. I'm, you know, it's, as you said, like especially in the inception stage. Sometimes, you know, take Orn as an example. I think, you know, it's like claiming the space. It's like, first of all, like just claim the space. Talk to, you know, the CoreWeave CEO. Talk to Sam Altman. Like, they'll tell you what they need, but claim the space. And, you know, it's pretty accurate to what the vision was. But like, they're, you know, it's just like you interact with the right people. You have an assumption. Compute is the most important commodity in the world.
Yep.
Okay, what do we do with that? Let's figure it out.
Yep, and they're crushing it. I mean,
exactly.
Just announced around today. Incredible. I love those guys. 19-year-old first-time founder or 39-year-old third-time founder?
Obviously depends. Like if like Arvind Srinivas will for some reason decide that I'm the right investor.
You're the guy.
Him. You know, I think there's an incredible like second timers. I think the stats show that they really build Andrew Feldman. Like they're building generational companies. Our competitive advantage is not with the second timers, at least not after like when Kush will, you know, start his next company 10 years from now after selling Orn for 20 billion. That would make sense. But right now, like in most cases, I'm looking for the hungry 19-year-old first time. And, you know, just to that point, you know, we're at a paradigm shift. And the younger generation is more native and more first principle oriented to this change. And that's like the biggest, you know, it's not a coincidence that Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates are dropouts. It's not a coincidence, you know, it's like that you see like so when there is a paradigm shift, the younger generation captures a lot of the value. One of my good friends, Devin Triplett, who's O21T, we backed him also. He did some research and he learned that Harvard produces about 9 unicorns, Harvard affiliated founders produce 9 unicorns per year, which is a crazy stat. So historically, it's mostly graduate students, HBS.
Really?
Yeah, but when there is a paradigm shift, it's usually the undergrads. And if you look at the recent 12, it's probably 1 HBS team or 2 HBS, Blitzy and like Shield AI.
Yeah. Outliers though.
Outliers. All the others are undergrads, like Cognition and like all of them. Mercor, our portfolio company.
Yep.
All undergrads. So yeah, so it's so we're big believers in graduate students and especially HBS. We just follow the numbers. But right now it's the time of the
it is. And appetite for risk is through the roof.
Oh yeah.
Which I love. 0 employees in $1 million pipeline or 50 employees in 10 million pipeline.
Obviously depends. But I'm more about the results than like the way to get there.
Yeah.
So if you're like heavy enterprise sales org, go for it. And obviously I care more about slope. So if the 10 million, if we got to 10 within 5 months, or if we got to 10 within 5 years, you know, it's all about that. Yeah. So I think it's kind of like in many cases, the wrong answer even.
Founder who's always right or founder who changes their mind the fastest?
Changes their mind the fastest, like 100%. Obviously you want to have, like, I like the, you know, I don't like that everything I say is like, oh wow, that you're so smart. Like but I want them to be able to just like
low ego, walk away.
Exactly, and the world, like, just, you know, just trash things and you know, and move on. Trash, like, you know, iterate, move until you hit the pull from the market and that's it.
Yep. Lead the round and take the board seat, or write a smaller check and stay out of the way?
Lead and board of 100%. We're here for conviction. We're not here for playing games. You know, sometimes we don't get to lead. Yeah. And then we, you know, if I had the conviction, no, it's like if I wanted to lead this round and be a board member, like, and now they give me, you know, $200K to get in, like, I'll take it. Yeah. But it's not, you know, it's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah. You want to win. Synthetic data or small real example?
Synthetic data. Got many of these companies.
I know. Yeah. Israeli founder who won't leave Tel Aviv, or Boston founder you can see every week?
So I have 2 things to say. One is, like, be where your market is. So apparent, like, even if you're building in Tel Aviv, your R&D is there. Like, be in the US if that's your market. And for me specifically, Boston 100%. Like, that's what, like, the value that I bring and that I extract from being next to my founders is unbelievable. Like,
in your office.
Like, exactly. So, like, I walk outside and, like, it's like, hey, Ely from Mikado, like, what can I do? Oh, like, we need an intro to a neoprime. Okay, like, let's connect you to Palmer Luckey. All right, like, you know, that doesn't happen if we don't have that interaction, right? So
it's the power of the office.
Exactly. So it's like the same reason why I expect my founders to build an in-person culture.
You have to.
If they're here, it's like so big. Obviously, for some companies, it makes more sense to be in San Francisco, some New York, but I think, like, there's a huge advantage of, like, just be here. And
you give them the room to come and do it here too.
Exactly.
Right. How many companies do you have working on here right now?
About 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And it's, like, rotating. And we have, you know, we have a company from San Francisco. They know they can come and hire here. Like, they're all MIT. So they're like, okay, we'll come here. We'll have we'll have like a home away from home. Yep. In a way, which is also great.
MIT dropout or MIT PhD?
I think you know the answer.
I do.
Dropout.
The $1 billion headline or actually owning your company?
Meaning owning, like, we're owning? Yeah, I think, like, I definitely want the biggest stake. Yeah. Like, if I have 1% of a $1 billion company, that's not returning the fund. If I have, you know, 20% of a 500 million company, I prefer that.
Move fast and iterate or slow and write?
Fast and iterate, of course. Break things.
Explosive growth with no current moat or slow growth with a real one?
Explosive growth, 100%. Like, I think, you know, unless you're like, even Anthropic, like, like, the moat, obviously they have, like, amazing talent. Like, someone has to crack, like, how are they doing that? Like, why are they attracted? Like, it's kind of clear now, but unless you're Anthropic, you're like, there's no moat. Yeah. There's no moat.
Especially
like,
now.
It's like, build, grow explosively, and then figure it out. Yeah. Like, you might create a moat in the like, you know, even Google, like, what was the moat? Nothing, right? But, like, now even more so. Build, become Cursor. Yeah. Every developer has you on their on their laptop.
Don't even focus on moat.
And
don't even think
about it. And then, you know, once you're worth like 30 billion, start worrying about it and sell it to Elon Musk for 60, or try to build your foundation model or something.
Yeah,
definitely explosive growth.
Founder who's read every book on company building, or one who's never read one?
I think if you have too much time to read books about company building and not just like doing it, just go. But I won't like hold anything against someone who's decided to read books.
Conviction in 30 minutes or 3 months of diligence?
Oh, conviction in 30 minutes. Like it's usually conviction in two. It's like amazing how it was like, if you track back all the big winners of our fund, it's like
you knew right away.
Clear. It's like, you don't even have to do a proper IC. It's like, take it. Of course, take it. Now, obviously, like some of these are not, like some of the easy decisions were not that, but it's like really high hit rate for the ones you didn't have to like kind of convince yourself you really need to.
It's like the same way in hiring too. Like you're interviewing someone, you can just kind of tell right away. You're like, okay, like I'm in, or like, maybe do I need convincing? And the ones you're like, I'm in right away. It's like, oh, those worked.
Yeah. But sometimes it's not easy to win the deal. Yeah. And that's the hardest part.
Yeah. Excuse me.
It's becoming easier. And I think like we are building a brand.
Oh, an incredible brand.
And lately, I've experienced like, usually if I compete with a multi-stage platform, I lose, or at least I get to invest but not to lead. But lately I've been getting, kind of like co-lead, or even like co-lead with the board being my seat and not the multi-stage platform, which is a great compliment.
That's incredible.
And I think a lot of it is because we are so founder friendly, because people, they speak to their friends, and it's like this flywheel effect.
And that's your network.
That's the network. So like, Kush Bavaria is a great, he's a great ambassador, and that compounds. And the next founder that comes in from that and like the link experience refers their friends.
Because they're all hiring from that pool too.
Exactly.
Back the team you can't stop thinking about, or the market you can't stop thinking about?
Team, 100%.
A category leader you got into late, or a coin flip you led the seat on?
Coin flip. Hopefully I don't do the coin flips. Don't tell our LPs that sometimes that happens. But definitely like the lead. Yeah. Like where?
3 Fortune 500 pilots or a 5,000 person startup waitlist?
I think like it depends if it's like a B2B, core to B2B. If I see that like the Fortune 500 companies, like big numbers coming in and like pipeline, I prefer that. Yeah. It's usually, or like consumers. Usually it's very, very hard to get to, like to actually convert these. The sales cycle is much higher, and they're much longer, and they're not as startup friendly.
Correct.
But things are changing now. Like now Jensen is like replying to emails from 19-year-olds like, hey, if this is a good solution, let's work with him. So it's like it's never been a better time to like cold email a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah, it's like why not?
As a like, hey, we're 5 MIT, we're 5 Harvard kids, like we're all CS and math.
Who doesn't want to take a problem that your business is facing and give it to 3 geniuses to go solve? And it's like, if you do this, you will get paid.
But now it's like so clear, because everyone is everyone's using AI, so everyone understands the power of AI. So it's like, but I'm doing it on my on finding clothes online, and I'm not doing it in my like billions of trillions dollar business. So like, what am I doing?
Literally.
So
some fast ones. Special Forces or law school, which one prepared you more for venture?
Special Forces, determination, and like I think the one thing from Special Forces that I got a lot from is that kind of like minimal information and decision making. So you don't have a lot of information, and you have to make a decision. You can't it's like totally. You're not a lawyer like, hey, listen, this is A or B. These are the options. Like you invest or you don't.
Yeah,
you're in or out. All right, so
especially with how fast deals are happening now, you don't have the advantage to take 3 months to due diligence.
I still prefer the ones that I cultivated a relationship with before, and then when they come, it's like such an easy decision because I know them well. But even sometimes it's like you have to make a decision like on the spot with like minimal information.
Most overrated credential on a founder's resume right now?
I think like from in my context, just a regular big tech internship or work experience, like, what are you doing there now? Like, it's not like but if you have the OpenAI internship, that's like gold.
Yeah.
And like one thing that I've also noticed among like many successful founders is debate.
Oh
in
yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
If you, I want to do some
Go to
research
battle.
on that. Like, I think the Stanford professor that does all the unicorn studies, he needs to
Publish
kind of like
how many went through debate?
like, what's the percentage of like debate graduates in. There's IMO. There's like all these Olympiads, obviously.
Yeah.
That is also huge now, but
It's a tip for everybody to start doing.
Yeah.
Cat's out of the bag. Finish the sentence. The autonomous business is inevitable, but
who gives a damn? Like, build a generational company. If it's $20 million per employee, that's great, but I don't care.
Yep. One thing the M&A lawyer in you still can't turn off.
I think like my OCD in general, it's like it doesn't come from my M&A lawyer in me, but I really turned off most of it, which is kind of crazy. I kind of like, I shut, like, even my legal experience, I kind of like forgot everything and put it away. And I used to be a good lawyer. At least I think so.
That's a hard thing for people to shake.
Yeah.
Like I know a ton of attorneys and some that turned entrepreneurs, and like that they can't get rid of that.
You're right, but I'm like, now I'm just like, it's like I don't want to read this SPA, like summarize and tell me what are the main issues. Things that I used to do. Yeah.
Synthetic humans or real ones? Who lies less?
Oh, of course, synthetic humans lie more. Humans lie more than synthetic.
Yeah.
But if you ask my wife, she's now like working with Claude as if like she has like an army of Claudes, and she's like texting me like, he's a liar. He's like me. She's like,
wow.
Things that you used to say to like about your employees.
Yeah.
And she's like, because she's trying to do like she's in real estate. She's trying to do diligence, and like he's admitting that he's me. It's like, what is this?
You're like, what is happening right now?
So yeah, I think we'll get to. I think we'll trust AI more than humans in a year from now, probably.
Yeah, they'll tell the truth every time.
They're not trying to just kind of satisfy and.
Yeah, this is good enough.
Yeah.
Is there an age below which you start getting nervous about a founder, or none?
Yeah, if they're like. If they're still changing typos, I think that's like no. But Arro has had a co-founder at 16.
Yeah,
so there's now a fund that funds like a micro fund that does teenagers, I think.
Yep.
It's getting
crazy.
It's getting crazy, and if you're like if you're backing freshmen so, but I think that makes sense.
Yeah. A company you'd wish you'd led and someone else did?
Prodex Labs. Do you know these guys? No. Harvard kids, I knew them for like 2 years before I extended a term sheet, and it was too slow, and Sunflower led that. I tried, I begged so hard. I begged so hard. And I love these guys. Still love them.
That's awesome. Claude Code analogy aside, what job is AI nowhere near replacing?
VC.
Nobody's
going to replace us.
Yeah. What the f is this business?
Jokes aside, there was a YC founder came here to spend a day with me because he was like, he wanted to build agents for VCs or like replace whatever. And he's like, oh, this is madness. This is too, like, it's too eclectic. It's too many things. It's like you're working, people. You're helping a company hire someone. You're trying to like help them with a round. You're trying to close. You're doing diligence, reference calls. It is like it's still like kind of jack of all trades type of business.
Yeah.
You have to win, support, exit. You have to do many things. So I think it's I'm not saying that it's a.
And you have to fight.
You have to fight. It's a lot. You have to be nice, but you have to fight. So you have to, and it's a long-term game. It's a marathon. You're not here like if you ruin your name, that's bad.
Correct.
So
not being founder friendly.
Exactly.
Like you do something. It's like your reputation is your business.
So I do think it's kind of defensible, but definitely.
No, it is. You're biased. It's fine. It is. The number on a pitch deck you trust the least.
CARR. The contracted. Come on, like give me the actual numbers.
How many people in your accelerator did you sell to that you're now buying their product?
Let's look at the actual breakdown. But that's fine. I use the same trick when I guide my founders.
Yeah. Overrated metric founders obsess over right now.
I think like just revenue in general. Like you have to look at the revenue growth, which was always the case. But now I think that the net revenue retention is even more important. Like to really to see that expansion within the organization is so key, because we're not selling SaaS anymore. We're selling intelligence.
People can switch really easy.
And if intelligence is not, also the switching cost, but like if they're not expanding within the organization, like if this is not like, oh my God, this is magic, and I need more, I need to spend more tokens. So it's something is wrong.
So you want to see single customers going from using a little bit to using a load in 6 months.
Yes.
Like that's what you want to see.
Because that's the biggest indicator of magic.
Yeah, totally. No, versus a ton of companies like just using a little bit and not seeing any like growth from customers. One thing a founder should never do in your first meeting.
Start like going into product and like in the weeds of tech. Yeah. You're selling a vision. You're selling you want it, like your goal is to pitch me you want to join my journey. If you're going into if you're not doing that, you're doing something wrong. Obviously, you can respond to questions and we'll have those discussions later on. But you're on a mission here. Yeah. And you want to show me that I want to join it.
Yeah, here's where I'm going. You enter you out. I don't care. Yeah. I'm doing this.
Exactly.
Best advice you got and ignored at first.
I think kind of like the importance of how close the founders should be. And I kind of put a blind eye a bit. Is it really the case? And I think it might, I think with some companies it's not true, and obviously there's outliers. But especially when you go from 0 to 1, or from -1 to 0 and then 1, that's hardship. And that's, and if it's not a fun environment and magnetic environment, it's the wrong thing. Yeah. And, and I failed with that.
You're finding magic if you have that.
Exactly.
Yeah. A founder texting you at 2 a.m., encouraging or worrying?
Oh, encouraging. I'm like, why are you texting? Call me.
Yeah.
I love it. I educate my founders to just call. I call them. I just impromptu call. Yeah. It's a very boomer thing to do, but I think it's
no, I love it. It's way better. Yeah. It's way better.
Okay, answer or not.
Yeah. Good. And if not, who cares? Exactly. It's nothing. Warm intro or cold email, which has actually won you over more?
Oh, I think I have 0 from cold. Yeah. So only warm. I think especially when you're a community-based fund,
and when you're an ecosystem builder.
In an ecosystem builder, you're not. It's all about the that's my competitive advantage.
You know everybody.
It's So sometimes I cold outreach. Yeah. But that's that's fine. Yeah. But for I never got a cold email.
Yeah, your network is already
converted into a deal.
Yeah, if you're getting an intro from someone who's high quality, it's okay. And you have so many nodes everywhere.
Exactly.
What do you know now that would have changed your first check?
Conviction, power law. First check, you're you're a bit I've done a few angel investments before, but then you're I'll do the minimum possible. That 5 million versus 500K could change the trajectory of the fund. Yeah. If it succeeds. And if it doesn't, it's just 5 million. Because when your biggest position is 400 million and growing to 800 million, it's who gives a damn about that 5 million? Yeah. Who gives a damn? Yep. And you can study it in entrepreneurial finance and VC at Sloan, but you'll never until you experience it. Yeah. You don't understand it. Yeah. So now having experienced that, 100%
awesome.
conviction.
One view you hold that most investors would disagree with?
I still think that most investors value experience. You know, we've discussed that thing, but I think experience matters, but I think that it also is a disadvantage because you're not you have all your priors and you don't think from first principles, and you're just not like native to it and know everything about it, and you are the power user of it. So still, many funds don't fund like the cursor type deals.
Yeah.
And I'm all after that.
Yeah.
Four super smart best friends.
Yep.
Building something that might sound stupid, but they'll pivot to the
They'll
right
figure it
thing
out
with the right guidance and with the right intuition.
Because they're incredibly talented, and they're best friends, and you get a bunch of people like that together. They can hire the incredible people. Yep.
It's magic.
If your own kid told you they were dropping out at 18 to start a company, what's the first thing out of your mouth?
What have I done?
Literally, come back to bite you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wait, finish that degree.
I used to be a troublemaker. My dad always told me, like, wait when you have kids.
Yeah.
So now I'm experiencing that. But yeah, in 14 years from now, I think
it's gonna look different.
I don't know. Yeah.
What is it gonna be? Who knows?
What is it gonna be? It's definitely gonna be something social. Whether it's gonna be positive or not, I don't know. But yeah, I hope I'll be very supportive.
Yeah, I love it, dude. This is awesome. Right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's great.